Okay, hello everybody on YouTube. So today I figured since we're nearing February, we're nearing Valentine's Day, that I would finally talk to you guys about what I think are some of like the sexiest, most seductive fragrances in my collection. For me, I feel like getting into perfume, that was always something that enticed me about them. I like using perfume to feel, I feel like to me that makes me feel powerful if I also feel sexy. And I think a lot of people enjoy that about perfume. I know nowadays we don't like to say that. We like to say, oh, it's empowering in other ways, and it is. But there is also something really nice and fun about feeling sexy, you know? So that's kind of what this video is going to be about, is the perfumes I think are really good for that. And I tried to do a bunch of very different ones that would fit different moods and occasions. And I think this is going to be a fun list. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk to you guys about is going to be a little layering combination that I've been really obsessed with lately. And that's going to be Casablanca from Swiss Arabian and Valentino, Donna born in Roma. Both of these perfumes together, it's just amazing. This is a caramel apple, basically, and the caramel in it is very deep. This is a Middle Eastern perfume, so it's a very interesting one. So this one's very likable, but it does have a depth to it and a sexiness to it. The opening is very like clean, fruity, fresh, but then as it dries down, you get this deep, seductive caramel that goes on that is gorgeous. I mean, this is really, if you want just like a caramel perfume with a little bit of fruitiness, this is amazing, and it's a really great price. And then what I'll do is I'll do like 3 or 4 sprays of this, and then I'll put 2 sprays of this. And this is Valentino Donna born in Roma. It's blackberry, bourbon vanilla, and jasmine. To me, the jasmine is what I really get out of it the most. And then I get a little bit of tartness from the blackberry. This very much to me feels like a very like, it's a very, it is a sexy, very feminine scent, but it has like, you have your guard up a little bit with this one. And I think it adds a little edge to this. Because it has that tartness, but that's also why I like layering it with this, because this adds more of a sweetness and more of a warmth to this. And that's why I think together they're just so intoxicating, because it's just like this beautiful, sparkling, sexy combination that has depth, but is also really likable and sexy. Something you could wear every day, anywhere, anytime, and it's just always gonna work. So yeah, I really like these together, but they're also good alone, but I am obsessed with the combination, so I kind of tend to always use them together when I use them. The next one I'm gonna talk to you guys about is a body mist. This is one I haven't been using a lot lately. I had the perfume travel spray of this during summertime, and I went through it in a month. And this is so good. This is just like sexy, beachy, salty. It's caramel pistachio, and to me that makes sense. It's just this sweet, sugary, sexy, nutty caramel, I guess. But it just makes me think of almost maybe like a warm, salty vanilla scent, you know? It's gorgeous, perfect, amazing. Definitely for me, I would recommend just getting a giant bottle of the body spray so you can just use as much as you want. And it's one I've been thinking about starting to wear more. I think this one would actually go really well with this. To do some sprays of this and then to put this over it, I think would be a really great combination. I think that's something that in summertime I'm gonna do a lot of. And I might try it out soon. I'm really excited to try that. But this is just amazing. I think this is one of the sexiest scents around. It's so good. There's nothing like it. I love the Sol de Janeiro fragrances, and I couldn't recommend them enough, especially considering they're affordable, and they also do have really good performance for being body sprays. And just fully worth it, you know, and you can spray it everywhere. You can spray it in your hair without guilt and all over your clothes. It's just very worth it. The next one I'm gonna talk to you guys about is a weird one, okay? This is one I like never wear, but I also feel like it's very good for this video. It's one I would like to try sometime. And this is Lush Lust. This is so crazy. This is like a very dirty animalic jasmine. It is often described as very indolic, which can mean a lot of different things. With this one, I think a lot of times people think there's like a fecal butt smell to this one. And I can see that. Like, it's, to me, this is just like raw jasmine. And it's in its most unfiltered form. And it does feel dirty. This feels like, this is something maybe you would wear clubbing, or like maybe during summertime outside at like a sweaty, gross party where you want to just really let loose. Like, I feel like this would be really good for that. And that's why I'm putting it in the sexy fragrance list, because I think we need more weird fragrances that are like, there is something sexy about something that's kind of like also a little nasty, you know? It's true. And this is pretty, but it's also kind of wrong. And I'm glad to have it in my collection. I never wear this, but it's one I would like to wear eventually. I think it's one that would be worth wearing. If you're gonna wear it, fucking go for it. And wear it when it's hot and in the summer and when it's humid and makes you want to throw up. So yeah, Lush Lust. This is for if you're just want to go crazy. And then let's go back to one that's a little bit more of a crowd pleaser, that's not as out there. This is one I've been obsessed with. It's Belle from Jean-Paul Gaultier. I've been so intrigued by this. I smelled this at Macy's, sprayed it on my wrist, and then the rest of my work shift, I could not stop smelling my wrist. And I was just obsessed with it. It was this gorgeous, like, pear, vanilla, kind of powdery, just so warm and intoxicating and sexy. And oh my God, it's so good. It's basically pear, vanilla, and vetiver. And it's just this juicy, dripping, almost stewed pear that has kind of like vanilla, brown sugar, and a little bit of very subtle smokiness from the vetiver. And just the way that combines together is such a gorgeous, feminine, womanly scent. I love it so much. I love just like bathing in it. This is amazing. I really want to try the Le Parfum Intense version of this. I am waiting for them to release it in America because I don't think they have yet. I think they're seeing how it's doing in Europe first. But I really want to try it because it sounds weirder than this one. And I think I'm going to also really like that one. This one's amazing as well, though, and I am so happy I have it in my collection. Okay, and then let's talk about the Seven Virtues Vanilla Woods. This was basically my first perfume, and it's one I never wear anymore. It was basically my signature scent for a while. For the 6 months that I had this before I got so obsessed with perfume that I started genuinely collecting them. This was always what I would wear. I would wear it to work, and the reason I can't wear it anymore is because I also would wear it with somebody that I used to see, and it makes it so depressing smelling this, because I do have a very strong like scent memory of whenever I was with that person, I would wear this. And he loved it, and I would say this is definitely a very, very good intimate date night kind of scent that I do think is sexy in a very like understated way, where you're not trying too hard. It's very universal and just like nice. It's one I would definitely recommend because it's also quite affordable to get like a bottle of it, or the rollerball, which has definitely lasted me, but that's also because this scent basically gives me PTSD. So but it's also what I'm glad I have. Like, I'm glad I do have scent memories of all of that, even though it makes me depressed. It's I don't know, that's the weird thing about perfume, right? But this is definitely a good one. I highly recommend it. The next one I want to talk to you guys about is one that I'm obsessed with. This is Black Opium Extreme. Oh my god, this is amazing. So last month I got a travel spray of Black Opium. Really nice, really enjoyable, cute. She's cute, okay? Black Opium Extreme. This is like a masterpiece. This is like one of the sexiest fragrances ever. To me, this is like everything Black Opium should have been from the beginning, and gives it, I think, a worthy spot next to perfumes like Alien and Angel and Hypnotic Poison and Gucci Rush, all those like classic clubbing fragrances. I think Black Opium Extreme lives up to that because it is a little bit more dark. It's a little bit more weird. It's very powerful and just so sexy and intoxicating. Basically what they do is they take Black Opium, they amp up the coffee and the patchouli, and then add some cocoa in there. And the patchouli in this is a very like clean, earthy patchouli. It's gorgeous. It's maybe my favorite patchouli I've ever smelled in anything. And the way that combines with the coffee and the cocoa and the vanilla is just intoxicating. The jasmine is not as strong in this one. This one in general is not as syrupy, but it's so gorgeous. I absolutely love this. I got the 1 ouncer. I'm fully getting a 3 ounce backup as soon as I possibly can. If they ever discontinue this, I will kill myself. This is so good, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's amazing. Fuck. Okay, next one I want to talk about is Viktor and Rolf Spicebomb Extreme. I adore this fragrance. This is just one of the most comforting, warming, decadent, very sultry fragrances. I think on a guy this is great, but on a woman this is also really great. It's a creamy vanilla with this like sweet, rich tobacco and a lot of really like warm spices that kind of remind me of maybe like the spices you would get in a pumpkin pie, like amped up hard. But they're like still pretty, you know, like I just think this smells so gorgeous and warming, and it's one that I think men or women can definitely wear. It's one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. I think it's truly a masterpiece and one of the best winter scents you can get. I highly recommend it. I keep hearing people say that this is getting discontinued, and I really hope that doesn't happen because this is truly one of the most amazing fragrances I can think of, and this is just such a good cuddly fragrance that you have to try it. You just have to. And then speaking of fragrances that are a little unisex, Black Orchid by Tom Ford. This one, so all the ones I've been talking about, I've been really talking from the perspective of what I think is sexy on a woman. You know, like what makes me feel sexy, what makes me feel powerful, you know, that kind of thing. But I wanted to give a shout out to one that I think if I smelled this on a man, I would lose my mind. And that is Tom Ford Black Orchid. This one is so good. This is one of the strongest perfumes ever. I went to Von Mar a lot, and I would always spray this and smell it on a blotter, and I was just obsessed with it. So I eventually got this sample of it, and one day I wore this on myself, and it did choke me out because of how strong it is. I think I did just like 2 sprays, and it choked me out. So it's one I don't really reach for very often. But fuck. If the thing is though, this scent is gorgeous. And if I smell this on a guy, like that's what it smells like to me, is just like the sexiest man who's like powerful and like, you know, he has good taste, he has expensive taste. He'll keep you safe, you know, he'll take care of you. So I just want to give a shout out to what I think is like on a man, this is like a very sexy fragrance. I think it was marketed to women, but I think on men is really where this one goes all out. Not that obviously anybody can wear anything, but I feel like we need to talk about this more in terms of how hot it is on a guy. Okay, and then the last 2. Let's get to Hypnotic Poison. This is my favorite perfume. I've talked about this so much. It's very depressing because I am almost out of it at this point. And this will be my first full-size bottle empty with perfume. This one is so good. It's often talked about as like a very sexy perfume for women. And like, I think it is sexy, and that's why I have it on this list. But I think the reason it is so sexy is because it isn't sexy in a way that's obvious. It's not sexy in a way that's trying. You know, this is just like an interesting scent. It's one that if you smelled it, you'd be like, what is that? And not in a bad way, but it just is something that feels different from another place. This is like, it's truly a vanilla like no other. It has that kind of doughy Play-Doh vibe from the almond and whatnot, and the coconut, I think, but I don't know. There's just something about it that's like truly so intoxicating and gorgeous and addictive. So yeah, Hypnotic Poison by Dior. This one is a masterpiece. I've been eyeing this 5-ounce bottle of it because when this runs out, I'm fully getting that. Full stop. This is so good. And then the last fragrance, that to me, this is the sexiest fragrance there is. This is like my go-to if I'm really wanting to take it there, okay? And that is Montale Intense Cafe. Oh my God. I can't smell it because this is one of those ones that has a thing. It is roses, vanilla, and coffee. And I also feel like there's cocoa in this. There's a chocolateness to it. To me, it smells like a chocolatey rose. And it's just this sweet, really pretty scent that projects, it lasts, and it just smells amazing. This to me is like quintessential sexy hot girl fragrance, and I'm just absolutely obsessed with it. I think to me rose is such a attractive, sexy, feminine flower. A lot of people say it isn't, and that it's like this old lady scent. I don't agree with that. I think rose is really interesting and beautiful. And the rose in this one, I would say, is definitely, even if you're not a rose fan, I think it's a very likable rose that it just, this scent profile, it just smells like a hot girl. Like, I'm sorry. And it's an interesting one. I live in the Midwest, so like nobody smells like this here. And I just think it's a very gorgeous, unique scent. I think this is, in other places, this has gotten very popular and there's like clones and stuff, but it's not like that where I'm from. So I just really adore it and think this is one of the sexiest perfumes in history, and I love it. One of my favorites. This would really be in my top 3. And I really want to try the Ristretto. I'm very curious about it, but I also love this one so much that I don't know if I would get the Ristretto or this again once it runs out. I might get a sample of the Ristretto first to see which one I want next. But yeah, I love this, and I think this is, in my opinion, the sexiest perfume I've ever smelled. As of right now, these are the ones that really stick out to me, ones that I really love. And let me know what you guys think are like really like gorgeous, sexy fragrances. Because that's, to me, that's like one of the funnest genres when it comes to perfume. I know it's not cool to say that, but I think that's one of the things that's fun about perfume. I like the ways it can evoke different moods and feelings. And I think that's valid. So yeah, what are the perfumes you guys really like that you think are really sexy or make you feel really sexy? And I hope you guys have a really good day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.